from my eye.
He's going away.
There you go.
She's scared of it, baby. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Felicia, and so today I really need to get into my yard and harvest some more bay leaves. I absolutely love this tree and I've had it for such a long time, guys. I got this probably when it was like in a 1 or 3 gallon bucket, and over the years it has really grown. As a matter of fact, you're actually looking at it in a pot, but the roots have actually busted through the bottom of the pot, and this is the home for this bay leaf tree. So to be honest with you, the bay leaf tree goes really slow, so I didn't do a lot in the way of fertilizing it. When it was strictly in the pot and the roots weren't in the ground, I would go through and fertilize it at the beginning of the spring with some type of fish emulsion, just a standard organic fertilizer, just to kind of make sure that it's green and it kind of got some strength from the winter months. But honestly, now that the roots are set into the ground, I still put a little bit of fish emulsion when I'm like fertilizing my garden, but that's pretty much it. I do, however, go around and just pick off any dead leaves as I see them, any broken off branches, just so that the energy goes back into the tree and not into trying to heal things that are pretty much dead. This tree has actually gotten a lot bigger than I wanted to, so I probably will end up cutting it back just a little bit. I really like it to stay in a bush form because it's easier for me to, harvest from it, share the leaves with my neighbors and things like that. When it gets too big, it becomes like a lot more work, and I really don't need any more trees in the yard that I'm gonna have to maintain. So I do try to keep this in its bush form. Fun fact, bay leaf trees can grow up to 20 feet or more, especially in places like California and where the weather is correct, and I definitely don't want that. So guys, actually now when I'm about to harvest it, I just look for really nice leaves, large to medium to large leaves that are fully developed. That's what I like to dehydrate. I don't know any real rhyme or reasons to what leaf you would pick or not. This is just what I do. And to be honest with you, it works. I have yet to be successful in propagating my bay leaf tree. I have tried many times, but for some reason I just can't get it to root. So if you have any pointers on that, please leave it in the comment section below. I would love to know what you guys do if you're able to root to propagate your bay leaf tree. But I'm gonna try again. Every year I pull a nice stem off of it and then I sit it in water and I try to propagate it. So who knows, if I do figure it out, I will make sure that I make a video so that you guys also know what I know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull off as many leaves as I can, anywhere between 20 or 30 leaves, because again, I try to do this one time in the spring. I may do it again in the fall. Okay, once I get the leaves off the tree, I go ahead and just soak it. I get a little container and I soak it using some salt or baking soda, just to ensure that any impurities or any pests come floating off of the leaves and I'm not dehydrating or drying anything that I don't want to consume onto the tree. I will also then go through and pick off any leaves that I think that aren't worth me dehydrating, and I go ahead and pull them off and put them in the compost bin or just throw them away. Okay, when you go ahead and dehydrate when you go to dry your bay leaves, you can do it in many ways. You can either leave them on the counter, making sure that you have good airflow. You can string them up, tie them up, and then allow it to get good airflow, just like you would do any other herbs. Or you also could put them in a dehydrator. You also can put them in the oven too. You just want to make sure you drop the temperature as low as possible so that they don't dry too fast. Currently, if I am dehydrating anything else, I oftentimes like to dehydrate other herbs. I will just throw them in there. Sometimes I'll get sidetracked. I will dry the leaves off, I'll pat them off, and I'll leave them on my counter, and I'll walk by every now and then and just flip them to make sure that they don't get any mold or mildew or anything like that growing on them. Just making sure that the air is circulating so that they dry properly. So again, here, this is my dehydrator. I'm currently dehydrating some rosemary. So I'll just probably leave these bay leaves right here on the counter until they dry out completely. Usually anywhere between 5 to 6 days depending on the humidity in the air. And then once they're crunchy, so that's how I know, I just kind of bend the leaf in half when there's absolutely no more moisture in the leaf. You don't want it to be pliable, you want it to pretty much just snap in half. Then I know that it's time for me to go ahead and store my bay leaves. And I do store them in an airtight container. You can use glass, you can use plastic, it's up to you. You can even put them in the refrigerator or freezer to keep them fresher longer. Alright guys, so that's the information I have on my bay leaf. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but bay leaves is an herb. So that means that you can use it for a lot of medicinal purposes within your home and your diet. I like to use mine to store my flour and my rice to just make sure I keep all the little buggies out of that. But you can also burn them to purify your air. You can drink them in a tea. You can add them to recipes like soups and Italian dishes. So if you don't have a bay leaf tree, something you might want to look into. I really have enjoyed mine. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!